Do you want me to do it instead?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm still not. I want to go back to what you said a minute ago. Like you were saying that this doesn't support the four-source hypothesis, but it doesn't contradict the four-source hypothesis either.
Yeah.
But it does contradict the Farrar hypothesis, right?
Yeah, but I feel like not necessarily. He could have just been wrong, or he could have, you know, again, like you said, taken it from L.
It doesn't flatly contradict the the Farrar hypothesis. Maybe we could just say Luke was really dumb. Like he fell asleep at the wheel that day when he was copying the thing. So it's possible that Luke could have copied Matthew, but we have a hard time. There are some explanations that could account for the difference in the genealogy, but it would require us to hypothesize some explanations. Kristen?
Doesn't what we just spoke about support the four-source hypothesis? Because then you could say, okay, well, Matt got his genealogy from the M source, which is completely different from the L source, where Luke could have gotten his genealogy from.
Well, you could say it's consistent with the four-source hypothesis, because you could say that the M source and the L source, that stuff that Matthew has and that stuff that Luke has, it's different. Maybe the M source contained a genealogy and the L source contained a different genealogy. That doesn't really confirm the four-source hypothesis, but it's consistent with it. It doesn't detract from it. Yeah. It seems like a plausible explanation of why those two are different. In addition, so these two Gospels start out with genealogies, and they're really different. In addition, tell me, you guys have seen stories about, or I presume you've seen stories about Jesus' birth. What happens when Jesus is born? They've got creches out in front of churches depicting what happened. What happened? Three kings come. Who else is there?
Angel, right? And like the star.
There's a star, which led the three kings. There's angels. Who did the angels appear to? Is that a hand?
No.
Oh.
The shepherd.
Right, there are shepherds that the angels came out and appeared to and said, hey, guess what? Jesus, the Messiah, was just born. And then what happens right after that? Anybody remember? This is not in the creche, but where does Jesus go right after he's born? After that. Who wanted to kill him?
Oh, Herod, right?
King Herod wanted to kill them. The three kings went by King Herod's palace, and King Herod was worried and said, come back and tell me where this guy's at when you find him. And in order to be safe from Herod, where do they take Jesus? Egypt. Jesus' family takes him to Egypt. Okay. Which gospel is that in? Any other guesses?
Neither.
It's not really in either Matthew or Luke. Look at Matthew. Matthew 1. Or sorry, Matthew 2. Matthew chapter 2, we get the wise men who are following what? The star. And they go see Herod. And then to avoid Herod, they go to Egypt. That's in Matthew 2. Are the angels and the shepherds in Matthew 2? Where are the angels and shepherds, if you had to guess? They are over there in Luke. If you look in Luke chapter 2, verse 8.
So why is this story combined?
Because people pay no attention to the differences between the Gospels. Remember, the devotional method assumes that it's all true, so why wouldn't you just cram it all together? The historical critical method says, no, we have to read these individually and see what they say individually. The devotional method just rams it all together. The idea that the angels and the shepherds and the three wise men all appeared at the same time is a result of that cramming it all together. But if you look in Luke chapter 2, verse 8, in that region there were shepherds living in the fields. The angels appeared to those shepherds. Now, does this pose a problem for the four-source hypothesis? Right? If you're a scholar and you support the four-source hypothesis, how do you account for these completely different birth narratives? Right. You say one of them was an M and the other was an L. Does it pose a problem for the Farrar hypothesis? Why? Jack?
Because if Luke and Matthew is different, and they're saying that Mark copied Matt and Matt copied Luke, then technically we're reading it wrong.
Or what?
But people will get mixed up on what to believe. Because you're saying that Mark believes Matt, Matt believes Luke.
No. According to the Farrar hypothesis, Matthew copied Mark and then Luke copied Matthew. This poses a problem because it leaves unanswered the question, why would Luke throw out so much, right? Because there's this story about the three wise men, King Herod, and the star, and it's not in Luke at all. If Luke copied Matthew, he would have had to completely trash all that stuff and make up his own story about the shepherds and the angels.
So that one doesn't, like, I obviously understand that it doesn't really believe in Q, but it doesn't either give validity that M and L would exist by themselves and that there would be, even though Luke, probably copied Matthew, he could have had his own information as well.
Yeah, he could have, because you're suggesting maybe there was also M, and Matthew used that, and then there was also L, and Luke used that as well as Matthew. Yes, the Farrar hypothesis says they could have had that information. However, what it doesn't answer is why Luke cut out so much stuff from Matthew, especially really interesting stuff.